So today I wanted to share something with you that is so exciting for me to share. And I feel like I haven't packaged this very effectively enough on this YouTube channel before. Although this is a body of work that I started putting together when I had a really busy client-based practice back in 2015 and officially got all copyrighted and published in 2019. So I am going to share with you the difference between traditional attachment theory and Gibson integrated attachment theory so you can understand more deeply how your attachment style works, the subconscious components of it, and exactly the 6 ingredients and steps that you need to target and really hone in on to become securely attached, in my opinion, in the fastest, shortest period of time possible. And I want to share with you as well that I find that it's very difficult for people to actually become securely attached and for it to really land and stick unless we are bringing the subconscious mind into the process, which is a huge part of integrated attachment theory, and then targeting these 6 major features I want to share with you now. So I will say a couple quick things in this video. So there is traditional attachment theory. It's an amazing body of work developed by John Bowlby, Mary Ainsworth. They use things like the strange situation experiment to identify individuals' attachment styles and different temperaments associated with each of those attachment styles. Now, there wasn't a whole lot of work in that body of work or research done about how to actually heal an attachment style. And so there was also a lot of, fine-tuned details missing beyond just discussing the temperament. And so what actually happened in my case individually is that I was running a very busy client-based practice back in 2013, 2014, really, really ramped up. And what I found is soon around that time, after a couple of very busy years of working with people one-on-one, I actually ended up in a situation where I revisited attachment theory. It was something I'd learned in school, but never really thought too much about. And I realized very profoundly how much each of the things that I was working on with my clients individually, I was working on a lot of the subconscious mind and really healing and reconditioning. And from this client-based practice point of view, I was working with people on core wounds and their needs and learning to emotionally regulate their strong emotions and their triggers, learning to communicate more effectively, set healthier boundaries in their lives, and also learning to upgrade unhealthy patterns of coping or behavior, binge eating food or addictive habits, self-sabotage, things like this. And so what was so crazy to me is when I revisited attachment theory after a couple of very busy years in client-based practice, I realized, wow, each of these attachment styles, all of these things I'm working on with clients group and fit perfectly into these packages of attachment styles. And each unique attachment style that John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth originally developed has specific individual core wounds, different emotional patterns, different needs in a relationship, a different relationship to their boundaries, a different relationship to how they communicate and what they would need to work on to communicate more effectively, and their coping mechanisms and behaviors, things like activating or deactivating strategies. So what I created and published in 2019 and actually copyrighted and went through that whole legal process around was creating Gibson Integrated Attachment Theory, which essentially takes traditional attachment theory, plugs those attachment styles in, but then really highlights those 6 major components of attachment styles and really overlaps that with dealing with this in terms of healing at the subconscious level of mind. And what we found at PDS over the past couple of years is that if individuals dug in and they really spent a few hours a week covering these 6 major things and really reconditioning them at the subconscious level and doing the work, there's some time investment up front to do so. We found that within 90 days, individuals became dominantly securely attached by highlighting and really working on these things. Now, I'm going to be pulling from that today here to help you dig into, how to recognize different attachment styles. And we're actually going to talk about some of the core wounds part for anxious preoccupied. We're going to go through the needs. And this will help you not just at a high level through like temperament or patterns, see what somebody's attachment style might be, but really digging in to identify these things at a deeper level, according to the body of work that I've been working on for about 10 years now. So I have some really exciting news, and it's that integrated attachment Theory training is back. In other words, you can be trained to become a relationship coach certified in integrated attachment theory in literally 60 days. So who's this for? Well, of course, this is for any individual who wants to make an impact and really be of service to others while also obtaining freedom and flexibility and abundance in their lives. And this is also for anybody who's already a counselor, a therapist, a coach, and just really wants to expand their toolkit. We've had so many people enter into the Integrated Attachment Theory program because they're just looking to obtain a certain degree of mastery in terms of understanding their own attachment patterns and also the attachment patterns of maybe their children or partner or other loved ones in their lives, so they can really support those people and understand them more deeply. Now, please keep in mind that the last 2 times we ran this program, we filled up very fast. In fact, we oversold the programs and sold out completely. So if you're interested, click the link below to learn more and dive in with me. And I'd love to see you on the other side before seats run out. So the big component that I think is so important to remember is that there's a huge difference between dealing with our behaviors that are usually the effects of our subconscious beliefs, our subconscious needs, met or unmet. And when we look at the different dynamics of just trying to control our behavior, like stop deactivating or stop activating, what we have to understand is that to recondition that stuff, we have to understand what needs that behavior is meeting. We have to understand what core wounds that behavior is sponsored by. So let's just take a look at this for one more moment in the context of an anxious preoccupied. When an anxious preoccupied attachment style activates really strongly, part of what's happening is that they have a huge core wound, this fear of being abandoned. And then once they're abandoned, they believe they'll be unsafe. And so these core wounds get activated, and their way of behaviorally coping is to activate, is to try to hold on really tight. And so it's also meeting a need for connection while helping them move away from this core wound or set of core wounds that's there. Now, we can actually change those behavioral coping mechanisms by reconditioning and learning to meet our needs in healthy ways, communicate them in healthier ways, reprogram those core wounds so that we don't need to overcling in the first place. Then every single feature from an integrated attachment theory point of view helps us target the subconscious roots of these patterns across those 6 major areas, whether it's reprogramming core wounds, whether it's learning to know our needs first and foremost, and then build a healthy relationship to them through also communicating those needs to other people. We also learn how to emotionally regulate, emotionally process, and build a relationship to our emotions and see what feedback they're telling us about ourselves and our life. And then we really get into those behavioral coping mechanisms and boundaries. And as we recondition these different things using just simple techniques to target the subconscious mind, we can reprogram all of the pieces of what caused us to become an insecurely attached style in the first place through conditioning. We just recondition. So if you want to do a deep dive into PDS courses, really do the work to become secure, you have to target those 6 major features, in my opinion. I think without those 6 major things, it's much more difficult to become securely attached. And this will help you become securely attached in the shortest period of time possible because we look at roots and we leverage reprogramming tools to really move through those features. So I really wanted to share this with you today, A, because it's such an important body of work that I am so excited to just be able to share. And B, because I think it just helps you clarify your awareness as to what it means to become securely attached and what the key ingredients are that are necessary. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so, so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in future videos.